Attorney Diana, I pay you a lot of money to give me advice, so it troubles me. When I see that you jump to conclusions, I start questioning your discretion and your judgment.
Miss Miller was just surprised.
Do you see that I'm not I'm talking to her right now? Do you see that?
All right. I apologize for overstepping.
All right.
And I can certainly understand if you wish to release me from retainer. In fact, seeing that conflicts of interest will certainly arise due to the fact that I now represent both you and Jason, I think it's probably best for everyone concerned if I resign.
No. I'm not going anywhere.
Did Johnny say where he and Lynn were headed?
No. When he called, I was with my father, and I couldn't talk to him, so I just stayed on the phone long enough to hear that he was okay.
Did you trace it yet? Did you trace the number?
The number was blocked. There is no way for me to know where my brother is without getting my father involved, and that's why I'm here. Please, I need you to help me find him.
The Valkyrie's desire to protect Fairlulu is a sentiment shared by the Jackal, who, of course, would be honored to assist in your valiant attempt to cast suspicion away from the burdened blonde one and free her from a life on the run, as it were. However, the Jackal feels a brief consultation with Stone Cold might be in order prior
The
to putting...
sooner we frame Rick Lansing for Logan's murder, the sooner this will be over and Lulu can come home.
I already told everything I know to the police. If you'd like to read my statement, I'm sure my dad can make you a copy.
I've already read it. You spoke to Logan twice the day that he died.
So?
So? I want to know what was said.
Which time?
My son was murdered and dumped by the side of the road. I'm not playing games here.
I'm sorry. I know what it's like to lose someone you love by violence.
I know you do. That's why you're going to tell me what happened to my son.
Professor Siegel must have been working on. I found it in some old music book.
He meant a lot to you, didn't he?
Yeah, well, this is the one place I could come to forget about everything, you know? Or I could forget about my father and actually be a normal kid for a change.
Yeah, well, you don't get more normal than Joe and Linda from Chicago.
Yeah. Well, if anyone's gonna buy me as a struggling musician looking to make ends meet, I should probably practice before giving any more lessons.
I think you sound great.
Aside from all the incidental notes, the professor must be flipping in his grave.
Well, if Lourdes is any indication, I think you're a wonderful teacher, and I think Professor Siegel would be very proud of you.
Yeah, well, Lourdes is a fast learner. If I'm going to stay well ahead of her, I should probably practice. I think you can help me.
Yeah, no. What?
Sit down.
I am completely tone deaf, and I have no rhythm.
Come on, I thought you loved the blues.
Yeah, to listen to, not to play. I can barely manage chopsticks.
Well, then it looks like I have my work cut out for me. Come here. We're going to start with some scales.
Great.
All right? Come on. All right, this is C, D. You gotta push it to make it work. E, F, G, A, B, C.
Oh, wow. That was hard.
Maybe if we ignore them, they'll go away?
No, it's too late. They've probably heard us playing.
It's Lourdes.
Oh, it's okay.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt. Do you have a minute? The day Logan died, I ran into him on the Elm Street pier. He was with some new doctor from the hospital.
What doctor?
a resident there, Matt Hunter. He's almost as big of a jerk as Logan was, but even Matt had a problem with the names your son was calling.
Oh, deserved, I'm sure.
I'm no saint, but neither was your son. Logan just went around blaming everyone else for his problems. Matt ran him off and I went back to work. That's when Logan showed up at our Crimson offices saying he wanted to get back together with Lulu. She, politely declined, and Logan, he got pissed. He stormed off, obviously went to start a fight that he didn't win, and that's the last time I saw him.
Logan loved Lulu. All she ever did was lie to him and jerk him around.
Lulu was completely honest with Logan. She told him it was over.
Yeah, because of you, because you slept with him. Otherwise, Lulu and Logan would still be together.
Okay, you don't know that.
Yeah, I know that Johnny Sakara killed Logan, and you helped. You need to keep your voice down and let her go.
The Jackal has heard countless tales of how you and your yet-to-be-born progeny were made to suffer at the hands of Darth Lansing in the confines of a regrettably secret room. So naturally, the Valkyrie has malicious feelings.
Do I hate Rick? Yes, I do. Not just for what he did to me, but for what he did to Sonny. I think Rick deserves a special place in hell. But right now, all I care about is clearing Lulu of any involvement in Logan's death as quickly and as safely as possible. And the only way we can do that is if we pin it on someone else.
Okay,
Come on.
If not for revenge, why choose the Demented one?
Rick's the one that hired Logan to be Anthony's attendant. That didn't work out. It's not such a stretch to believe that Rick had him killed because he knew too much.
Well, see, sadly, the Jackal is acquainted with many of the pertinent details of the unworthy one's demise, none of which could be finessed in any way to implicate Darth Lansing.
Oh, come on, it's not a start. You can make it happen.
And the Jackal also fears that if he were to alter any aspect of the case, the law-abiding ones would be alerted, and that would make the mob prince and even the fair one look even more
So you
guilty.
have to make sure the police don't find out. Aren't you the best? Isn't that why Jason pays you so much money?
Okay. Look, the Jackal's cyber skills aren't the issue here. The Darth Lansing's whereabouts at the time of the Krabby Commando's demise are the grave concern here, because see, what the Valkyrie seems to be forgetting is that there's a very real chance that Rick has an airtight alibi, which would negate...
So we get rid of his alibi. What is wrong with you? You're acting just like Jason.
Oh, well, the grasshopper is flattered by the comparison to his master, and in the same vein, feels like he must bestow some stone-cold-like wisdom and say, do nothing. As difficult and as painful as that may be, the wisest course of action is indeed to watch and wait.
Yeah, watch and wait. Neither one of those are my best events.
I'm not in competition with Jason, so there's no conflict of interest.
Well, as I understand it, your new business associate, Mr. Karpov, will almost certainly take an adversarial view towards Jason and his business interests.
Then you understand wrong, Diane, because I'm only working with Karpov, so to keep him out of Jason's way.
Okay, well, I'll make certain that Jason understands that.
Okay, you're not going to say anything to Jason because this conversation that we're having right now is attorney-client privilege.
And that's why you want to keep me as your attorney.
No, I'm happy to work with you. That's why I don't want you telling anybody about my business, not even Jason.
There's nothing to worry about, Diane. The boss is just looking out for Jason.
Exactly.
I highly doubt that Jason will see it that way. The act of dealing with Karpov in the first place may or may not be viewed as hostile. Keeping it a secret fairly screams betrayal.
I would never betray Jason, and he knows it.
I came to you as soon as Johnny called. I mean, it's time for you to hold up your end here. I need you to help me.
I said Johnny would make contact, and he has. Now the best thing for you to do is just stay out of it.
No, John needs my help.
Your brother managed to break out of here. He managed to lose the cops and disappear without your help. Laying low for a while isn't going to be a problem for him.
I don't want John to have to look over his shoulder all the time for the rest of his life and wonder if somebody's going to recognize him from the news. There's got to be something that I can do to help him.
He's going to call you. Right now the cops are watching you 24/7. If you go to him, he could get caught.
I'm not stupid, Jason. I know how to cover my tracks.
But why take the chance? Claudia, obviously he's got a place to hide. He's got some type of transportation. He probably has cash from one of your safe houses. Once the APB gets hold, he should be able to make it out of the country.
Come on, if it were you, would you just write off someone that you love that easily, just accept that you would never see them again for the rest of your life and walk away without a second thought?
I gave everything I built to Jason, why would I turn around and try to destroy it, Diane?
Is that a rhetorical question? Or do you actually want my objective opinion?
Well, I don't want your objective, because you know what? You've already decided that I'm wrong.
I'm the one who handled the transfer of ownership when you took control of the coffee company and gave everything else to Jason. I watched as you signed away Michael and Morgan. You hated that bargain the day you made it, and you hate it even more today. You resent Jason for the part he played in it, and Jason knows that.
What I resent is that Jason helped Carly take away my sons. That hurt me. But it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Your decision to work with Karpov
Right.
may be interpreted as retaliation. Now, if you don't want Jason to make that same conclusion, then tell him what you're doing and why.
Jason's in custody right now, right?
Right.
You think he needs to deal with what we're talking about right now?
I think he needs to hear from you. What you choose to tell him is your own business.
John trusted me. He came to me for help, and I handled everything completely wrong. I should have made Logan disappear completely like Johnny wanted, dumped his body in the harbor. But instead, I left a trail that led the police directly to my baby brother. So maybe I should have listened to my father. Maybe I should have let him handle it.
Why didn't you?
Because I don't want him to have any more leverage on John. I just thought it would be easier if I took care of everything on my own. It would be simpler, cleaner. In a way, now I've ruined John's life. You understand? There has got to be a way to fix this. There has to be something that I can do.
Sometimes the hardest thing is to accept that you are no good for the people you love.
That's very zen of you, but it doesn't apply in my situation. John needs me. And I'm gonna help him.
I'd like to thank you for my lesson earlier.
There's no need to thank me. It's my job.
Yeah, I know, but still, I just really appreciate you being so patient with me. And Professor Siegel is the same way, and you kind of remind me of him. That's why I brought you these flowers, because Professor Siegel always liked to have...
Fresh flowers sitting on the piano, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go put these in some water.
I hope you don't mind that I stopped by, Joe.
No, not at all. The flowers were a very thoughtful gift.
Well, now it seems official, you teaching me and all. I think Professor Siegel would be happy that we found each other.
All right, this has nothing to do with you. Now, you're yelling at one of my employees in my hotel and you're disturbing the guests. If you don't calm down, I'll have security walk you out. You understand? Do you know what kind of a badge I carry? Yes, Mr. Baldwin, I am very well aware of your appointment to special prosecutor, but I doubt that the mayor would look too kindly to you manhandling the police commissioner's daughter, and especially in front of potential voters. Mayor Floyd has no chance of getting reelected when bodies are getting dumped by the side of the road. I'm very sorry for your loss, but yelling at Maxie's not going to bring your son back. And neither will revenge. As a matter of fact, some innocent people could get hurt in the process.
Well, you know, now I'm not surprised about your concern over Lulu. I mean, you are married to her cousin, and Spencers, they stick together, you know. They like to lie, cheat, cover up murders, whatever. Well, that's not going to happen this time. Whoever killed my son is going to pay.
Jeez, thank you so much for getting rid of him.
You need to be careful. You know, Scott Baldwin, he can be dangerous when properly motivated. Boss.
You know, for a coffee importer, you have an awful lot of security.
There's only two reasons you would be here. One is your father's treating you badly again and you're spiraling out of control. Or you've heard that I'm working with Karpov and you're going to use it against me.
Got me all figured out, don't you?
You're not that complicated.
Really? Maybe you just can read people well. I mean, that would explain why you stayed in this business so long and why you jumped at the first chance to get back in.
I'm not back in.
Really? You keep telling yourself that. You know when you love something as much as you do and you're as good at it as you are? You can't let it go.
I may just do it to prove people that I can.
Okay. Keep telling yourself that.
You're here to complain about the new border hog in the bathroom. You're gonna have to take it up with Robin. She's the one that rented him the room.
Only after you insisted she move into it.
Maxie, I don't have time to get into all the reasons why Robin would be better off away from Patrick. Let's just leave it at he's an egotistical jerk who will always put his needs before Robin's and the baby's.
Well, Patrick is a prince compared to Dr. Matt Hunter, who's egotistical beyond belief. And just so we're clear, I hate that he's living in Georgie's room. But at least this is a situation I can focus on, something I can deal with, unlike the nightmare of Johnny taking Lulu hostage.
You know what the best thing you can do is to let me know if Lulu makes contact with you.
Dad, I'm like the last person Lulu would ever want to get in touch with. She hates me, and I'm not exactly a fan of hers. I mean, if we didn't work together, I'd have no use for her.
If that were true, you wouldn't be here to help.
I love that you always think that of me, but I'm actually not here to help. I'm here to see Jason.
Wait a minute. About what?
It's personal.
Maxie, Jason Morgan is dangerous, okay? Getting involved with him, that'll get you killed.
I'm not sleeping with Jason Morgan, if that's what you're worried about. I came here to talk to him about Spinelli.
Well, he's not much better.
I thought that we talked about you staying out of my personal life.
How is Spinelli in your personal life?
Dad!
Okay, fine. This is me backing off.
Thank you. Scott Baldwin is on a warpath, and if you don't do something soon, he's gonna figure out that Lulu killed Logan.
Well, you are the one who called this meeting. The least you could do is show up on time.
All right, skip the attitude, Lansing.
I'd like to skip the whole thing. Frankly, Baldwin, I really have no interest in listening to you condemn my client yet again with absolutely no shred of proof.
Well, first of all, innocent people, they don't break out of jail and they don't go on the run.
Oh, they do when they're being railroaded.
The only one being railroaded was my son, Logan. I don't know what kind of dirt you had on him and forced him to take that job wheeling that foolish old mobster around and to put him in constant conflict with Johnny, which eventually led to his murder.
Oh, look, I'm very sorry.
No, you're not sorry. Don't even say that. You didn't give a damn about my son. Nobody did.
Look, the sad truth is that you didn't really even know your own son. And if you had made more of an effort, you would have realized that Logan was volatile and deeply disturbed. And whoever killed him probably acted in self-defense.
Hey, I'm glad you called. This has been the most frustrating day, and just knowing you wanted to see me just made it all better.
Carly, I didn't ask you to get back together.
I'm not naive. I know it's not going to happen overnight, you know, but talking's good, and if we sat down and we had a drink, we could work
I don't
things
have time. I'm sorry.
Can't fix things, Jax, if we don't make time.
I didn't ask you to talk about the separation. Okay? I have a meeting in Montreal this afternoon. And I was on my way to the airport and I saw Scott Baldwin questioning Maxie Jones. And apparently he thinks that Lulu is responsible for his son's death.
Does Scott think Lulu stabbed Logan?
No, he thinks that Lulu is the reason that Johnny and Logan fought. And he also believes that Lulu led Logan on, apparently the same way Laura did with him.
Oh my God. You know, leave it to Scott Baldwin to make a bad situation worse by bringing his
I
confidence.
know you're going to move heaven and earth to help her. I just want you to be careful.
I already have been trying to help her. I love her, Jack. She's more than just a cousin to me.
I know.
We're very similar. We make the same mistakes. When I found out that she was held hostage, I knew that she was faking it because I would do the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I spent almost the whole morning trying to come up with ways to help Lulu, and then you call me, and here I am. Because as much as I love Lulu, there's nothing more important to me than us.
Hey, I'm not saying you should ignore a family emergency. That's not what I meant when I said that you weren't committed.
I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, okay? I'm not, because if Lulu would have called me and asked me to drive the getaway car, I'd be with her right now. But she didn't. And I can't do anything to help Lulu, so I want to focus on you and me. Fixing what went wrong and holding us together.
We're not together, Carly. And I don't know if we ever will be.
Stop, okay? We're married. And we love each other, and right now we're in a really bad place. But come on, Jax. Whether you see it or not, we're both to blame.
I just don't want to fight anymore, Carly. I'm afraid that you will think that's what marriage is. When you argue, you break up, and then you get back together only to fight again, and then the fights get worse, and the reconciliation time is shorter. And then before you know it, there's nothing left. There's no love left. And I don't want our marriage to become a trap where we hurt each other on purpose.
You would never try and hurt me, and I know that. And even at its worst, our marriage is the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I'm not gonna lose it.
And what if it's already lost?
You know what? You don't want to give me the benefit of the doubt right now, so I'm gonna give it to you. You're frustrated and you're making some bad choices, but you are still the man I love, and I'm not gonna give up on you.
So when did you move to Chicago?
When I was 14, my parents divorced, and my mother packed up me and my sister, and we moved in with my grandmother.
Oh, wow. It's been hard leaving all your friends.
Well, I don't know what I missed more. My friends of the city.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I lived here all my life. Well, not this building, but, this neighborhood. My mom passed away when I was a baby, and my dad was killed when I was 12, and Sal's been raising me here ever since.
It must be difficult to lose both your parents at such an early age.
Yeah, Sal's helped me through it, though. We don't always get along, but he's a good brother for the most part. So wait, what about you? Are you and your sister close?
Yeah, well, sometimes I feel like she's the only person I can count on.
Does she still live in Chicago?
California. Her husband's based out there.
Oh, wow, you must miss her a lot. Is she going to come to New York to see you play?
Who's coming to New York?
Oh, Joe was telling me about his sister and her husband.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
So you met his sister and her husband?
A successful marriage requires trust. It's as simple as that.
I couldn't agree more.
You went behind my back with Claudia Zuccaro. You won't believe me when I tell you that I won't have an affair with Kate, and you sabotaged a very important meeting to keep me away from her. I mean, come on.
Kate set me up. She's the one who's lying. And see, this right here, what's happening between us, is the reason. Because she wants to break us up. She wants me to lash out, so I drive you to her arms, and I'm not going to give her the satisfaction.
Wow, it sounds like you're pursuing me to get back at Kate.
No, I don't give a damn about Kate. You know what? Okay, I do. You know what? I think she is a vindictive, selfish bitch. But I'm not going to do anything about that, because that would undermine the magazine and your investment. Nothing matters more to me than you. So I'm trying really hard right now not to lash out because of my hurt feelings or get sucked into a fight about a lie that I didn't tell, because I have to show you how good we are together, Jax, because, no, stop. We promised to spend the rest of our lives together, and that's what we're gonna do.
I'm late. I gotta go to the plane. I'm sorry. Be careful, okay?
Instead of wasting our time talking to this Spinelli, we should be out there looking for our sister.
Lucky he may be the only one who knows where she is. I mean, if she needed a fake ID or money transferred into an untraceable account, he'd be the first person she went to.
I wish I could be as sure as you are that Lulu was willing to participate in this.
Okay, Tracy Quartermain informed me that there was a gun missing from Edward's collection.
And there is no proof that Lulu took it.
Come on. A gun goes missing from the house that our sister lives in, and shortly thereafter, her boyfriend breaks out of jail holding one on her. Now tell me, you honestly believe that's a coincidence?
Greetings, brothers of the blonde one. How may the jackal be of service?
We're here to ask you a few questions about Lulu.
Which is it, blackmail or sex?
Does it really matter?
It will to my fiance, so if you're here to self-destruct, do it with somebody else, and I'm not interested.
It's a good thing that I'm not here for sex. I need to find my brother. I need to get him out of the country until somebody else takes the fall for Logan Hayes' murder. Wouldn't your new partner be able to handle the arrangements?
Your father would too, I'm sure right now. He's getting a new identity and a plane waiting for Johnny.
My father is obsessed with Johnny. He's never going to let him leave.
So you come to me, the man who held your brother hostage, who doesn't care if he lives or dies, asking for my help?
Did I say I was asking?
Max! It would be a mistake to blackmail me, so I'm gonna let you walk out of here and pretend we never had this conversation.
Just tell me exactly what Scott said.
Okay, he didn't come out and accuse Lulu of stabbing Logan, but he definitely thinks she's responsible for his death. Man, you should have seen how mad he was. At least now I know where Logan got his temper.
Did Scott hurt you?
He grabbed my arm, but Jax walked in and said he was going to call security.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I just got a preview of how Scott's going to react when he finds out Lulu killed his son.
But this was self-defense.
Lulu put Logan into a coma last winter. There's no way that Scott's going to buy that whole self-defense thing again. He's going to want Lulu to spend the rest of her life in prison. Never mind that Logan got exactly what he deserved. Why am I so worried about someone I can't even stand? I mean, if the roles were reversed, Lulu wouldn't lose a second of sleep over this. I'm sorry. I'm putting all this on you, and you can't do anything about it while you're in here.
You were right to come to me with this. Just helps me to have all the information I can.
Okay, well, now that you have this information, how the hell are you going to use it to get Johnny and Lulu out of this?
Never said I could.
I haven't gotten to spend a lot of time with Joe's family.
It's difficult with them living so far away.
How long have you been together?
Since September.
I was hitchhiking. Joe picked me up.
But not like you're not a good guy or anything, but I mean, getting in a car with a complete stranger, that's crazy. I mean, for all you knew, he could have been some psycho killer.
He seemed harmless.
You got lucky. So, why were you hitchhiking in the first place?
My ex-boyfriend was cheating on me, and I got in a fight. Excuse me.
Is she okay?
Is the Jackal permitted to make a call?
To whom?
Why, the brusque lady of justice should be present prior to answering any and all questions.
Listen, I'm not here as a cop. I'm here as a brother who's afraid for his sister.
Then why did the law-abiding one find it necessary to flash his credentials upon entering?
Just to make sure he'd let us in. So, where's Lulu?
Well, sadly, the Jackal is not privy to the mob prince's chosen path of flight with his helpless hostage.
We know the truth.
To what truth would the blonde one's brooding brother be referring?
You don't have to cover it for Lulu. We know that she brought the gun into the station. Did you help her plan the escape?
Why, the blonde one gave no indication that she was planning anything, much less than springing Johnny, as it were, from the hallowed halls of the PCPD. And fights him anymore as the son of darkness.
Have any charges been brought against Jason Morgan? Well, then when is he getting released? You can't keep him in lockup forever. You know what? Never mind. I'll take it up with the commissioner. What does my father want now?
Your father's far too busy screaming at my father to use me as his carrier pigeon. Matt? No, I came here all on my own.
Why is that?
Well, because I think I can be extremely helpful to you.
Oh, really? Well, I'll tell you something. The only help that I'm interested in is getting my brother out of this mess.
That's exactly what I plan to do.
I appreciate that you're letting me do this.
I'm sure we'll all sleep better knowing this guy's off the street.
Yes.
In 3, 2, 1. I'm here with Special Prosecutor Scott Baldwin, whose son, Logan Hayes, was brutally murdered on July 8th and dumped in front of a clinic in the Warehouse District. The prime suspect, John Sakara, managed to escape police custody late last night. Can you tell me more about that, Mr. Baldwin?
Johnny Sakara broke out of jail with the help of his girlfriend, Lulu Spencer. She smuggled a gun into the police station and pretended to be held hostage. She and Johnny are armed and dangerous and on the run.
Can you call the tower in Montreal? I want to make sure that there are no delays. I have to get to this meeting on time.
The weather holds out.
Champagne?
How did you? What are you doing, Carly?
You know what? I think it's so sweet that you keep my favorite champagne stocked on the jet. Would you like some?
No, I can't have any. I have to have a clear head for this meeting.
Well, you know what? At least we get to spend some time together. Flying is like time out of time. You know, no one to bother us. No crisis we have to solve. No one gets to leave even if they want to. We just get to focus on each other.
Yeah, if you want to ignore our problems, which I just can't right now.
Okay,
I'm
then
sorry.
tell me your problems and I will do whatever I can to solve them.
Okay, well, you don't lean on me when you're hurting. And I know that there's always a valid reason, but in the end, I still feel shut out. And then I bury myself in my work, which requires me to, work with Kate sometimes. That upsets you. You get all bent out of shape, and then before you know it, two people that never want to fight are always fighting.
We're not fighting now.
Because you haven't listened to a word I've said.
I heard what you said. I just don't agree with all of it.
Right.
Because the thing that you're missing is with everything we've done wrong, it doesn't outweigh everything we've done right. We have a life together. Day in and day out. We've shared memories and moments. You want to give that up?
No, I want us to get better. Or I want us to let go.
I'm not letting go. I love flying with you. Some of our best times have been on this plane.
It's not going to work. I'm telling you.
You don't want me to remind you of how much fun we've had? You just choose to convince yourself that our marriage has been nothing but nonstop misery?
I never said it was misery.
You used the word miserable.
I never said it was nonstop misery. I was very clear about our good times and bad times, okay?
I choose to revisit the good. I want to think about all the times we've flown to Montreal. I want to think about how you asked me to marry you there. Maybe it's a coincidence that you're having a business meeting in a city that means so much to us. But I think without you even knowing it, you're going back to a place that makes us happy, yes. So you know what? Instead of trying to put so much distance between us, why can't we reconnect?
See, in the past 24 hours, you've had visits from Carly, Claudia Zaccara, her father, as well as their attorneys, Nicholas Cassadine, and my own daughter. Wow, either your popularity's on the rise, or could it be that they know you have information about John Zaccara and Lulu Spencer's whereabouts? I wouldn't be surprised if you planned the whole thing, Jason. And you know what? It's actually not a bad idea. You break Johnny out of jail, you use Lulu as a terrified hostage, and just like that, Anthony Zaccara is eternally grateful. Everyone wins, right? Everyone but Lulu. You put that little girl's life on the line. And for what, Jason? A truce that's gonna last a couple of months at the most.
You know I can't say anything without my attorney.
Oh, boy. Why am I surprised to hear that? Well, you trained him well, son. Jason's got no conscience at all.
You've been in lockup for a while.
Got no evidence. They're gonna have to release me soon.
If you need some help getting out of here, all you gotta do is ask.
If you have a way to get John out of this mess, why am I just hearing about it now?
Oh, well, you were far too busy handling things on your own. You know, running around, covering for John, and ultimately making him look more guilty. I'm not complaining. I mean, after all, it is arrogance like yours that keeps me in business.
I made a mistake, okay? I made a lot of them. Do you want a list? Do you want me to confess every single one of my mistakes and my fears and make you feel all empowered? Seriously. You know what? If that's what it takes, get my brother out of this mess, I am perfectly willing to grovel and cry.
More to the point. What are you prepared to give me if I can get your brother Johnny acquitted?
Where's Lourdes?
She
She went home?
I'm sorry about that. Running out of the room isn't exactly subtle. I might as well be wearing a shirt that says person with something to hide.
Lourdes doesn't suspect a thing.
She's too busy falling all over you to notice.
Are you jealous?
More like grateful. Her crush on you is the only thing that's probably stopping her from going to the police.
As far as Lourdes is concerned with John Linder from Chicago.
Yeah, a struggling piano teacher and his emotionally unstable girlfriend.
You're making too big a deal.
I freaked out in front of her.
Okay, but as far as Lourdes knows, you're still just hurt over your ex-boyfriend cheating on you, okay?
My ex-boyfriend is dead because of me.
What happened to Logan is not your fault. Okay, I know you don't believe me, but I'm gonna keep telling you until you do.
Can you tell me more about that, Mr. Baldwin?
Johnny Sakara broke out of jail with the help of his girlfriend, Lulu Spencer. She smuggled a gun into the police station and pretended to be held hostage. She and Johnny are armed and dangerous and on the run. I am offering a $100,000 reward to anyone who comes forth with information that leads to a arrest and conviction. I urge anyone out there that sees them to call the police, not only for their own safety, but for the sake of my son, because he deserves justice. A tragic story like this will be on the news for weeks. You can kiss your career goodbye, Mac. And as far as the mayor's bid for re-election, out the window.
Campaigning for the mayor will have to wait. You need to go back on the air and retract that ridiculous reward before it gets our sister killed.